Okay. I don't know how to like start this video because like it's kind of just like an intro video of whatever I want this channel to be. But I guess just as a quick introduction, hi, my name is Noah. I am 22 years old. I live in Hawaii, Honolulu. Um, I am an engineer by trade. I've done kind of a lot of things in my life, um, which is like nice to say. I've had the privilege to travel to a lot of places, especially like going to Japan has been really, really fun, and then like play baseball around the US in certain tournaments here and there. But I've been able to do that. Then like I kind of turned my attention to basketball coaching. And so I was able to coach basketball for about a decade almost, which has been really, really fun, especially being able to coach like intramurals where it's like not just like high schoolers, but it's also like people that's been really fun. And so I don't know how to like preface everything, but like basically I just wanted to give a quick intro of what this channel and maybe what I'm going to be working on here is going to be about. Um Basically I feel like I have a lot of creative energy that I'm not using. In high school, college, I was a part of the band, so I was a part of the band in high school, both like ensemble and marching band. And then I did the pep band at Santa Clara University, which was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of people, got to experience a lot of things, get to travel for tournaments, get to go to the Giants Stadium, which was insane. I got to conduct the national anthem on the field and then go up to the stands and play some more for the fans in attendance. And that was a lot of fun. And so I've kind of always had like a creative outlet, mostly through playing trombone and like getting to perform and going all these places and doing all these cool things. But recently, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I haven't really had an opportunity to express myself creatively, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I have a lot of thoughts and ideas in my head that I want to talk through more. And whether or not it's like some people just aren't available or I'm not really like comfortable venting it to them in particular, um, I want to like explore more of like the creative side, which is kind of why I want to do like kind of these short, or I don't know if it'll be short, but like kind of video essay type format things. So I really wanted to instead, great idea, right? Of instead of going to like my friends to do something, I'm gonna put it out on the internet, which is great. But yeah, I mean, it's just I want to explore things more creatively of like being able to talk about things that I care about and explore topics that I am interested in. And so basically I made this channel. I don't know what it'll be called. But I thought about basically combining this like idea of like I want to be more creative with also the sense of I want to get better at exploring my thoughts more. I feel like a lot of times my thoughts kind of just like turn into mumbo jumbo and kind of just mesh together. And so I want to get better at like expressing those like verbally. So a lot of it is kind of like on one hand like kind of a creative project where like I can make these videos and just like explore whatever I want to explore. And then on the other hand, it's kind of like I want to get better at like thinking through things and being able to talk. I don't know if normally is the right word, but like just get better at like speaking and like being able to take things that are like in my head that might be like a lot of like kind of just big mumbo jumbo mess and then turn it into something that's like understandable. And so that's kind of like the premise behind it. I don't really know what I'm gonna call it. I've kind of had this idea of like doing like the series called Thought Bubbles or like Noah's Thought Bubbles or something like that. Of like, I basically what it's gonna be is I'll probably have like a container of some sorts and just have a lot of slips of paper in it. And so those slips of paper kind of have something that like I'm passionate about. And so generally, at least passionate wise or like content wise, what it might be would be like something like maybe related to like engineering, right? So like I think a lot of it has to do right now that I'm thinking about is like imposter syndrome and how to get over that, because I think like literally every engineer ever has had imposter syndrome at some point. Or maybe like things about like when you're doing like a project, how long does it take for you to like deem it good enough, or like does it have to be perfect, or like what's like the ups and downsides of that? And so that's kind of like more on the professional side. On the other side, I think a lot about like sports and sports psychology. And so something along the lines of when you have like, one thing that I've been interested in is like seeing the meteoric rise of players, of like, especially when you have a young player, right, who's just starting out and they like exceed all expectations, and their like expectations shoot sky high and they become like this really big public figure. Like, is it good to put all these players on pedestals, or like what does it do to kind of like their mental, as like someone who's not necessarily competed, but uh just watched from the sidelines and coached? And then something along the lines of that, of like even exploring things like, I think the big thing right now that I've like really been thinking about sports wise has been like this sports gambling epidemic, of like, why do people, I think, I just noticed a lot of people like complaining online about like sports betting, of like, oh, this player didn't hit my bet. So it's like kind of what we can do to like make a change or counteract that, if that makes sense. And then kind of mixing all of those topics or stuff like that, or like anxiety or mental health toolkits, right? Kind of like stuff like that that I care about, and like just putting them on paper slips. So anytime I have an idea, then I'm just gonna like throw it on a slip of paper and then put it in this jar. And then every, I don't know, maybe whenever I feel like it, but I'm gonna try and make it semi regular, like maybe every week or something like that. That like I'll just pull a slip of paper and then be like, this is like the topic I'll talk about, and I'll just talk about it for as long as I like think or can coherently speak, which is not very long, but just like kind of taking the time to think through an idea or think through a topic and just talk about it and give you my thoughts or my takes on it, is kind of like the premise of it. And so, in short, I kind of want this to, one, be like an area where I can explore my thoughts and how I feel about things, and explore ideas more and be creative. But also at the same time, I kind of just want it to be a discussion space too, of like, I, just because I have an idea doesn't mean that everyone has to agree or everyone has like the same take. A lot of times, um, I have ideas that like someone will come to me and be like, "Hey, I don't really think this is right," and then they'll correct me or give their own take, and I'll see things a lot differently. And so, I kind of just want this to be not just for me as like a video essay or like note kind of space, but also for other people, just to like, if I have like a take on something, that like I want to hear what you guys have to say, about whatever the thing may be, whether it has to do with sports, whether it has to do with mental health, whether it has to do with any of the topics that I'm talking about over the week, of just like having a safe space to like discuss and talk about it. And I'm really interested to hear what everyone has to think. And in turn, I hope that you guys are interested in what I have to say. So I'm not sure when this will go out, or like when the first thought bubble that I have will come out, but um, stay tuned, I guess. And I'm kind of really looking forward to getting started and just seeing where all of this goes, to be honest, because I don't really want to do it just because, like, oh, whatever is going to come out of this, like, the only thing that I really care about for me is just having a space to kind of share my ideas and share my thoughts. It's not necessarily like a, oh, I hope this gets clicks or whatever. It's just kind of like a, you know, space for me to explore my thoughts and feelings in a public space, which is going to be great. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing where this project goes, to be honest. And so yeah, hopefully you'll be along for the ride with me. If not, that's okay. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where all of this goes. So in short, hopefully I'll get this out soon. But thanks for watching and listening to me. And hopefully you'll be here for the next time that I talk about whatever it is I'll talk about.